Welcome back to another episode of Fantasy Endzone. I'm your host, Jake. You can follow me on X, Twitter, whatever you call it, at Louis Lewis 5. That's LEWY, LEWIS, and the number 5. Thanks for tuning in to today's show. I do have a guest with me. I'll introduce him in a minute. What a week 2. Top players, it's revenge after the dud week 1, and they showed out. On today's show, my guest and I, we will be talking about some other injuries that took part because, man, we can't escape those. Our thoughts on week 2, our waivers, and over and under reactions. We got a lot to get into it, so let's get fantasy. I'm here joined by one of my best friends, Andrew Punzel. I refer to him as Punzel, so if you hear Punzel, that's why. But anyways, Punzel, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me on.
Introduce yourself and give a little bit about yourself to the audience.
Well, my name is Andrew Punzel. As far as my 9 to 5 average Joe job, I do HVAC sales. Just got married. Have a little over 2 month old. That's about all I got from me.
Yeah, I mean, how's the sleeping going right now?
Yeah, not too bad. Not too bad.
The
Better than
wife is taking
expected.
care of it.
Oh yeah, she definitely does most of it.
No, trust me, I understand because Sam is the same way. But yeah, it's a pleasure to have you on the show today. I know I've been wanting to get more friends and family and others into the show. You know, all last season I did most of it all by myself. Now I just want to do more with guests. I'll have guests on every Tuesday night, and Bill's going to be on Fridays. But nonetheless, I do appreciate you, and sharing the passion for fantasy football and football in general. I mean, you have Sunday parties all the time. I know that, even if you don't invite me, but it is what it is. But no, I'm just kidding. But how was your week too this past week?
It was good. It was good. Didn't do a whole lot. Just chilled at home with the fam and had Red Zone on, and it was a very entertaining Red Zone. That's for sure.
Yeah, definitely. That's all I watched all week, especially because our Packers didn't have to play until they already played on Thursday. But
Oh yeah.
yeah, we got a lot to get into. Let's get into injuries for week 2 since, like I said, it always happens. The biggest one, let's start out with Joe Burrow. He suffered a turf toe injury that is going to keep him out a few weeks, but now it's a grade 3 injury and will require surgery. Time frame is roughly 3 months at minimum. Punzel, first off, how do you feel about this?
I mean, it just for him sucks. Seems like he can't stay healthy. They don't protect him. He's like the new generation Andrew Luck. It's seeming like now. Hopefully, he doesn't just randomly retire in 4 months or whatever. But if he did, maybe then the Bengals would get the message, and they should probably spend a couple dollars on the offensive line.
Yeah, I mean, it's also hard when you spend all money on him, Jamar Chase and T Higgins, but I totally agree they need to protect him, and their defense is terrible as well. And they have Hendrickson and everything else that they still are having to deal with if they need to pay him or not. But nonetheless, it seems like every other year he's getting hurt as well. A couple years ago, he had the wrist injury that was out for the whole season. A couple years before that, he tore his ACL. It just always seems to happen. Do you have any shares of him in any of your leagues?
Luckily, no. I only have the shares via Jamar Chase.
But I don't think he'll suffer in this. I mean, hell,
I
look
think
at
T Higgins is
T
definitely gonna be
Higgins
the
is
one
a
that
one.
suffers the most.
him, and then I'd say Chase Brown as well. What do you think fantasy owners should be doing with this news?
Uh, the obvious, I mean, and Browning. Now he did do pretty good 2 years ago for them. Now he's had 2 more years of maturing. Outside of the picks, I mean, he's still fantasy wise did very good. I think he had like 24.7 points, something like that, which is still pretty productive for him not even playing a full game. And then you got to think on the retrospect, yeah, as a backup, you always got to be prepared to go in. But I mean, the game plan wasn't for him; it was for Burrow. How much did he, did was it Zach Taylor? How
Mhm.
much did he adapt on the fly, or was it just Joe Burrow's game plan and he just did decent? I mean, he got the win, had the picks, but I could see
Right.
the picks getting better moving forward, knowing that he's the man for the next 3 months.
Yeah, definitely. Other news: JJ McCarthy is set to miss 2 to 4 weeks dealing with an ankle injury. It sounds like. How will the Vikings, you know, go on without JJ McCarthy? Do you think it's a big hit or not?
Blessing in disguise. Uh,
Same
I
thing as
mean,
you're,
he,
getting Sam Darnold.
he's still, I mean, basically a rookie, right? How much could he really learn? I mean, he could learn the playbook. That was about really it last year with his meniscus, and then going back in for another surgery, I do believe. He was never really out there to hands-on learn from Darnold, who absolutely killed it.
Yep.
Now Wentz, I mean, he was an MVP running before,
Yeah, I mean,
getting hurt.
it's
Look
going
at
to
all
be
these
a
other guys.
it's going to be interesting seeing about Nick Wentz or sorry, Carson Wentz, see how he's going to produce. Sorry, we're recording during the show or during the Houston and Tampa game. Nick Chubb just ran for a 25-yard touchdown. So I got Nick and what all that mixed up. But yeah, I just think he played like crap, I feel like, in the first couple games, and maybe this is, get him settled, learn a little bit more from another veteran, how he gets ready, especially this year, um, in Carson Wentz. Other injuries that occurred: Austin Ekeler is out for the season with a torn Achilles. Punzel, does this mean it's Bill Krosky Merritt time?
Good old Bill. Yeah, I mean, who else is it going to be? It's show up or don't, right?
Yeah, I mean,
Now, optimistically, I hope, or selfishly, I hope it is his time. I do have him in quite a few leagues. I did also have Eckler, but he was more of a fill-in back for bye weeks, so he didn't really hurt me personally. It sucks because I thought Eckler maybe could have had a resurrection of his what he used to be top five pick.
yeah, definitely. Back
Back
in
when he was
San
with the
Diego
Chargers.
days or
Yeah, or
whatever.
San Diego.
But
Um,
yeah, I mean, it's a blow to, I think, the Commanders, especially because they traded away Brian Robinson for basically, you know, bag of peanuts, 6th round pick. And now it's got to be Ja'Cory Crossing Merritt time. I mean, they did what Chris Rodriguez, 2 healthy scratches, but now it's time, like you said, time to shine.
yeah, in my
Uh,
opinion, I mean, to not keep him, with old Eckler. I mean, Eckler was, you know, showed signs of all right, he might be a salvageable back or
yeah,
for the team, and then to just yeah, give him away like you said for basically a bag of peanuts. They had to have seen something in him where now I mean, we're gonna
yep,
get to see it no matter what. I mean, he's
yeah.
he's next man up.
Also, Ja'Cory Carrasco Merritt did only play one college football game last season and then got suspended with the whole eligibility issues. And during that one game, he had like 143 yards. Last week, week one, he 82 yards and touchdown. This past week, though, against this Packers defense, is just they bottled up everyone and
They look all right.
everything. Uh, Also in that Thursday night game, Jayden Daniels, he also is hurt. He has a knee sprain. His status for Sunday is in doubt. Do you think he's going to play this week?
I mean, if they're already saying, he's in doubt, not looking good, if you're saying that already on, we're still in week 2, technically.
Yep.
Um, I don't think, they play, I think Sunday, right?
Yeah, I do believe so. They should be.
Um, yeah, let's see here. Yeah, against the Raiders, who, I mean, we'll see tonight. Are
What
they
they're made
for
of.
real, or, going against a Chargers team that just controlled basically that whole Kansas City game? So, yeah, we'll see how they fare tonight. And then we'll go from there. I mean, not having him won't be ideal going against that team, even if they do lay a dud tonight.
Yep.
But if he only misses a week, I think it's better to miss a week than turning that into a Joe Burrow situation. Obviously,
Right.
not with turf toe, but being out
Not
multiple
being
games.
100%. Yeah, definitely.
Go for the long run. I still think they have a great team.
Oh yeah.
So, with that being said, I feel like if he ain't 95% or better, I don't think they send him out.
No, I totally agree. Also in the Thursday night game, I mean, this must have been just an injury riddled game. Jayden Reed broke his collarbone. He's set to miss 6 to 8 weeks, from what it sounds like. Who's the next man up for the Packers? Who's going to step up, or who needs to step up? I guess.
The obvious answer would be the golden boy, man. Um, he's going to have a lot more opportunities. Now, as far as Packers aspect, I mean, everyone, when we've seen it last year, we were injury riddled, and it was just next man up. Malik Heath, Wicks. I mean, you name it.
Yep.
It's like we have 9 number 2 wide receivers on our team.
No,
Um,
no number one, but 9 number
yeah,
twos.
which I mean is a good problem to have. With the who was supposed to be our number 1, still coming back from his knee injury, or
Yep.
waiting to come back, I should say. But I'd say Golden, and then Malik Heath's catch. He's gonna get a
Yeah.
lot
Right
more
on.
opportunities.
Yep. That little toe tap.
Yeah, that was a pretty impressive catch, and but I'm just hoping to see Golden explode. But that's the thing with Packer wide receivers. It's like, with the exception of that first game, no one blew up.
Mm-hmm.
But then obviously we had Tucker Craft show.
Yep.
It's That's how it sucks having them in fantasy, but it's great as a fan because you have all these guys. But it's like, all right, who do I start this week? Who's the one guy that's going to get the 100 yards, a touchdown or two? Um,
Definitely. Yeah. The
but
selfishness.
longevity
Yep.
for the team aspect, but fantasy wise, it's and then maybe Golden shines, and then when Watson comes back, which sounds like it might be sooner rather than later,
Yeah. I
definitely
mean, he
Golden,
just came back with an extension as well.
which is
Moving on,
cool.
some other injury news. Sunday night, boring football game. Uh, Aaron Jones injured his hamstring, did not return. They don't know the severity of it, according to Kevin O'Connell. Us being Packer fans, we dealt with Jones injuring his hamstring, and it lingered for a long time. I feel like he missed like 8 weeks with it into the season. His last year on the Packers. And this might linger as well. Is this why they traded for Jordan Mason? I mean, essentially, I feel like yes, but
100%.
like,
They got lucky last year. He actually played in 17 games, which
yep,
is, think I was looking, and I think back when it was 16 game season, I think Jones played 16 games his second or third year, and I think that might have been it. Uh,
yeah,
so we're used to it, right? In the soft tissue. If I feel like when they come up earlier in the season, they linger the longest. Um, it seemed like he pulled it pretty good. I mean, we'll see how it
yeah,
plays out, but I think with them having Mason, they'll be
yep,
all right in that category.
yeah.
Um,
Like, I just think Jordan Mason's going to take over that backfield and become that 1A, and Jones, once he comes back healthy, will be the 1B, I guess you'd say, in my opinion. I think Mason showed out last year. He averaged, 4 or 5 yards a carry. Every time he touched the ball, he was lethal
He
and
thought he was
can.
CMC still,
Well, he had to be
fantasy wise.
during that time. The last injury is the Jets did not soar like we all thought he would against the Bills. Justin Fields, one of the reasons they didn't probably soar. I mean, he didn't play well at all. He only had 27 yards passing. I mean, hell, even the Bills' backup, Mitch Trubisky, had more passes and passing yards in one pass. Do you think he plays? I know he got evaluated for concussion and didn't return. Do you think Justin Fields plays next week against Tampa?
I mean, if he's cleared, I do believe so.
Would you play him though against Tampa? I mean, knowing CJ Stroud is not doing terrible currently, I feel like he's running for his life, but he's got
Yeah,
207 and a touchdown right now.
yeah. I mean, I say you play him. Uh, yeah, I say you play him. I mean, he's got a rebound. I think it would almost be worse on him to
Right.
not play him if he was able to go, just because of how. I mean, he looked really good week one, and
Yeah,
then
he gives you that rushing upside without a doubt anytime
and he looked
he's
like a
on the
pocket
field.
passer week one. I mean, I don't
Yeah,
know if it was
it's
just the
just
revenge against the Steelers of like you shouldn't have let me go. You took this 50-year-old instead.
they
Who
still
obviously got
lost.
the
But yeah,
the better end of the deal there via the kick.
right.
Um, but yeah, it was just like, and then the horrible performance, even before his concussion. I feel like you got to get him back out there, get him back on track because he looked a lot better, and
Yeah,
then
I
didn't
think
look good at all. It's
they
kind of
just
like the
got to have
Lions
more.
flipped.
Yeah, they got to have more, structured game for him going into next week if he does play. Let's get into talking about some of the games. What were your thoughts overall on week 2 as a whole?
It was electric, entertaining. Fantasy
Definitely.
wise, it was fun seeing all the updates of all the touchdowns. Forgot what the final number was, 70 something. Just in red zone. So the first, the noon and 3 o'clock games, which was what 30, I think, more than the episode the week before. Granted, there was one less game during that hour. Actually, I think it ended up being even. Uh, she still had Thursday and then uh, you had Friday's game that week, and we have 2 Mondays this week. So I think as the games wise, it was the same.
Right.
Uh, and it was just like, is it the no one really plays in preseason?
Yep.
Just kind of had to get game ready, get reconditioned, forgot how tiring it was. And then everyone just lit it up across the board, especially in the Giants and Cowboys game. They didn't look like they were tired at all.
Not at all. Yeah, for me, I think is like, the revenge game of the top players that struggled in week 1. Jamar Chase, Nico Collins is still struggling, it looks like, but like a whole bunch of these top guys that we wanted, first round redraft leagues that did dud week 1, now or blew it up in week 2. Also, points scored were, I mean, the total from all the games, the 16 games in week 1, 661 total points. That's an average of 20.65 per team. This week so far, not including these games right now, these Monday night games, it was 729 points. It's an average currently of 26.03 points per game per team. That's almost a touchdown more than every team in week 1. So that's roughly about 14 extra touchdowns. And I feel like maybe it has to do with the preseason, like you brought up. Should they play more in the preseason, or should they have a fourth game preseason? What do you think? Because week 1 always seems to be struggling for a lot of teams.
I mean, as a fan, I like the extra game, and then not
Mhm.
making the season technically longer
Longer.
as far as just the player aspect. It's still a 20-week season. For granted, now all these starters, they are getting one more game of wear and tear, sure, but it's up to them. I mean, you just got to play a little bit. I mean, everyone always what if, what if? Well, what if you come out on week one and or week two and get turf toe and you're out? It can happen at any time. It doesn't matter.
Right.
You just got to be smarter in the preseason where it's like you feel that sack just drop to the ground. It's preseason. Like it does not matter. You don't have to make a play, especially if you're a starter. Like you have your job. Don't do the extra unnecessary stuff that you may do in a game that may be necessary in that aspect. Just, oh, he's coming right for me. I'm not going to throw this ball and take this hit. I'm just going to fall down. You can have the sack. I don't care.
Yep.
I think there's ways to be smarter about it where you can still get your reps in, get the game feel if that really is the lackluster of week one.
Right. Or even, I mean, Terry McLaurin, don't hold out all camp. Get your shit figured
Yeah.
out. What was your favorite game from week 2, though?
Mine on an entertainment standpoint was the Cowboys Giants.
Yep.
That game was insane. It went from like, oh, the Giants just won. Oh no, the Cowboys just won. Oh no, wow, the Giants just won. Malik just caught a ball blindfolded to
Yep.
a short 64-yard pooch kick from Aubrey that he made and hit the back net. I mean, it was ridiculous. He could have probably made that from 70
Oh yeah. He
easily,
could easily do
which
the
is
Cam Little, 70 plus.
like
That guy's way too
absolutely
damn good.
insane. And then now Aubrey leads multiple first round picks in fantasy points
Yeah.
just in
Yeah.
that game alone, let alone week one. I
Right.
saw that and I thought that was pretty funny. So when people do take a kicker in the eighth round, it's guess if it's Aubrey, it's okay because you're getting some production.
Right.
But and then it was really cool for the Russell Wilson, even though he didn't win. And outside of that pick that was pretty dumb that cost them the game, uh,
I
he
agree.
was like, "You're gonna bench me after I throw 465 yards or whatever the final number was."
Yeah. He's
And
career
he was
high.
completing like 90% of his passes there for a while. I
No,
mean,
I totally agree.
everyone wants to see Dart, but I mean, Wilson, I think it's good if you can be successful to keep Dart on the sideline as
Yep.
long as you can, especially behind that offensive line that you want him to come in and just get absolutely murdered, like Justin Fields, Mitchell Trubisky in the Bears offense. Look at the Caleb Williams last year, got hit 12 million times. I mean, look at Burrow. Granted,
Yeah.
Burrow's established and good, but I mean, he gets hit like
Way too
it's
much.
piece of cake. Like everyone's just falling on their rear end on the offensive line. Just
Right.
saying, yeah, here's the door, go get him.
Right. I totally agree. I figured you were going to pick that, so I didn't pick that as my favorite game. I would say the Lions versus the Bears. Lions made a statement in that game, scoring 52 points against former OC Ben Johnson. I know the storyline was how will he do without Ben Johnson? Um, it, it, he Ben Johnson, no problem. They scored 52, but now being a Packer fan myself, like, does that mean the Bears defense sucks? Is the Packers legit like defense? Is it hard to start players against the Packers defense? I feel like it is. I mean, we've seen Jayden Daniels struggle and a bunch of these commanders in week 2 struggle. But maybe it was the Lions had growing pains dealing with 3 new offensive linemen, new OC week 1. It's hard to see, but nonetheless, Lions came back with 52 points and they just blew it out. And, they're celebrating, jumping in the stands. Amon-Ra St. Brown had 3 touchdowns. Jamison Williams only 2 catches, but 100 plus yards and a touchdown. It was just a great game. What do you think about Caleb Williams, though, so far this season? Is he better than last?
Uh, I I think they messed up. And you hear some of these reports of like, Caleb was supposed to be the golden child. It was him. You hear, these rumors that they never even did their homework and looked at Daniels, looked at anyone, right? And it was just Caleb, otherwise the city of Chicago is going to burn down Soldier Field if they didn't Not saying Caleb's bad. I mean, he has all the skill set. I mean, I think he's set up for last year for sure was set up for failure with that offensive line. Couldn't fight their way out of a wet paper bag, probably.
They look
But
bad.
I don't know. His decision making is almost seems slow at times. He's like sees everything late. It's like his body's ahead of his mind, or he wants to throw it, but he doesn't see it. And you just see a lot of like, I mean, rookie mistakes. Really, I mean, I'm not saying he's going to be awful,
Right.
but it's like the next best place to go for a quarterback to die other than Cleveland. It seems like.
Yeah,
Uh,
it is a top place. I feel like the first like half scripted plays are good, and then when he has to adjust or improvise, he doesn't look pretty.
yeah,
Does
it's like if
not
it's
look
not
pretty.
rehearsed in practice all week, then it's
No,
like
no.
wild, right? I mean, I don't know if they got to let him just run more and be free if they're trying to keep him in the pocket until all else fails or what they're doing. But I just feel like he's got a
Yeah,
long way to go. I mean,
definitely.
I know people are calling for uh what is it?
Tyson
Badgett?
Badgett. Yeah,
Badgett,
Jason
yeah.
Badgett.
To play. I mean, honestly, if he I'm not saying to bench him because he's bad, but to sit for a little bit and actually learn. Not that you're going to learn a ton from him, but really hone in some more experience that's not on the field on Sundays
Right,
just to get back. I mean, it's easy for us to say when we're last two sad. I mean, Brett Favre technically did, but not for long at all. But they brought him in and the magic man went down. But Rodgers
right.
sitting 3 years, obviously Love doing it right after. And I'm not saying Love is the best quarterback in the league, but he has a lot of
Yes, what are you talking
skill
about? No, I'm
set.
just
I
kidding.
mean, he could be right. Can't rule it out, but he's made a lot
Yeah,
smarter decisions, just missing a couple throws. But like that's the benefit to sit there and learn. Granted, he got to learn from Aaron Rodgers, first ballot Hall of Famer. He doesn't
right.
have that bonus.
He didn't
Uh,
have that luxury
yeah,
at all.
but like
Um,
Jayden Daniels is, I said he was gonna be the best one out of that group last
no,
year, and everyone just thought it was because I knew he was going to the Bears. I was being a hater, and I just said, I think Daniels is just gonna be better. I mean, when's the last quarterback that was one overall that was hyped up that much that actually was successful, or they had to wait 7 years like Baker Mayfield to finally find the system
right.
that was right for you or whatever.
He learns a new system every year, so he's all right.
He's
As
smart.
they just won 20-19 against the Texans with a last second rushing touchdown by Rashad White.
Ooh, White salvaging that from Bucky.
Yeah, 2 yards away with 9 seconds, and they decide to run it. That's surprising. But yeah, I mean, I feel like Williams is progressing compared to last year. Last year was just a terrible year. I mean, maybe it's just because I'm a big fan because I have him in multiple leagues, but I also feel like he's showing signs that he's improving. The offense line is improving.
Yeah,
It's not snap your fingers, a whole offense like Baker does. It's going to be growing pains. I think this year, I'm sorry, Bears fan, it is not a Super Bowl season. I mean, you won the Super Bowl in the offseason the last 2 years, apparently, how you guys feel, but they're not going anywhere this year, in my opinion.
yeah. I mean, I will give him benefit of the doubt. Ben Johnson's offense is very complex.
Yep.
So the real test, I think, when we really see if he's improving or not, I think will come mid October, given the benefit of
Yep.
the doubt.
I figured after the first 6 to 8 weeks, after probably their bye week, and then he learns a little bit more. But
Figure it out.
let's get into just talk about a few of these games. I'm just going to pick random ones. Um, Patriots against Dolphins. Dolphins did not score 8 points this week. They scored 27, but they still lost. Patriots scored 33. Once again, 33, your dad's favorite number, but uh, the Dolphins gave up 33 week one. Now week two, Drake May actually looked really good. I really like what I see now. Drake May, 19 for 23, 230, 2 touchdowns. He added 31 yards rushing and a touchdown as well. Do you think he could be a top 8 quarterback in fantasy this year?
Um,
Now that Burrow's out, that's one guy that's gone, you figure. Jayden Daniels might miss time. Brock Purdy was probably up there as well. He's missing time as well. I could see it myself.
maybe. I still think fantasy wise, pending any more injuries, like I still think Tua fantasy wise will have a better season because the way their defense looks, they might be throwing a lot.
Three
Um,
315, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception for Tua. But he only had
eh,
6 incompletions, so it's not terrible
yeah,
either.
and how many of them were technically caught just by the other team then? So he didn't
One.
really put the ball on the ground very often. Uh,
Well, they
but
struggle
then like
running the
Geno
ball.
Smith, I could see finishing higher than him.
Yep.
I don't know if you had him as one of the potential only 7 above him,
I do not.
but I don't think he's a bad, especially in deeper leagues. I mean, 14 team, 16 team. Uh, I don't think he's a bad fantasy quarterback to have, especially if you have him. That means you should have better capital up top, or because you didn't, you could probably still pick him up, let
Right.
alone got him in the third to last round if you're saving the last 2 for kicker and defense if you have those in your leagues.
Right. Yeah,
But
I
yeah,
mean,
4 incompletions is pretty good. I mean, QBR of 77.6.
yep. Yeah, I mean, I think he did well. Diggs is only still playing, 60, 70% of snaps. He's not full go just quite yet with that ACL or injury from last season, but I feel like he could be a big difference maker, giving May a big body receiver. You know, I know Keishawn Butte week 1 was dominant. This week he only had 1 catch, 16, but a touchdown. Only 1 target though. But overall, I feel like Diggs will help out him later on in the season. But uh, as of
Ramondre,
right
man.
now, he's improvising. He's doing like what Jordan Love. He has no one that he has to target. He's just making plays.
Yep. And Ramondre Stevenson, I think. He showed that, TreVeyon's a great asset, but he's still the dog. He still eats. I mean, he was
54 rushes
electric
or
uh,
54 rushing. Yeah, 88 yards receiving on 5
on
catches.
5 catches. Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
I was surprised by that. I mean, I seen he had that 55-yard reception. I was like, what the hell? Watching Red Zone and sitting back watching all that is a good
Yeah, you
time.
heard his name a lot on there, and it was like, oh,
Definitely.
so he's not just second fiddle used 5 times.
Right.
I
And
think they
then
went back to the drawing board and said, like, yeah, you're not. I mean, he's what, fifth year in the league this year?
fifth or sixth, yeah, something like
Yeah,
that.
like he's not old. It's not like you're trying to phase out some 30-plus-year-old
Right. And
that's
then we
not
look at the
named Derrick Henry.
Dolphins. Tyreek Hill, vintage, 6 catches, 109. Achan, 8 catches, 92 yards, 1 touchdown receiving. They can't get anything going on the ground with 30 yards rushing. It's
Yeah,
horrible, but
and
um,
Achan used
he-
his wheels in
he's
the
helping out in
receiving
the
game.
passing game. Oh my God. Each and every week he does. And then Jalen Waddle, 5 catches, 68 yards, 1 touchdown. I feel like he should be a lot better than what he is. It's just unfortunate that he doesn't really get the ball a lot, it seems like. And then
Yeah,
Tua's also hurt all the time too.
yeah, I think yeah, the Dolphins are just. I'm glad they look better
Yep.
fantasy wise.
Yeah, I
Because
mean,
I
like they struggled so bad in the week 1, but coming back and coming back with a vengeance. Let's see
yeah, they
here.
can score
What's
points. They proved that they can still score points. Tua proved that he's not washed out. Doesn't remember his name. Had 55 concussions. Right. He showed he can still ball. So the team still has a chance to make some noise and upset some people.
definitely. Let's take a look at this Broncos in Indianapolis. game. Jeez.
Do you want me to
What more
act
could
like
you
Pat
want from
McAfee,
that?
or
What's that?
want me to act like Pat McAfee, or do you want me to just be me?
Do whatever you gotta do.
Because I did not see the Pat McAfee show today, but he had to have been going berserk.
I mean, this game had everything. Wild chaos at the end in dramatic fashion. You know, he missed a what 60-yard, 64-yard field goal or
60,
whatever it was.
60, 15-yard penalty.
Yeah, 60-yard field goal. I mean, hell, Spencer Schrader, was 5 for 5. He's never missed a kick in the NFL. Dating, and he's been in the NFL for 2 years. But yeah, he hit the game winner after he missed it with a personal foul and got 15 yards. And hey, he made it and won the game for the Colts 29-28. But what a performance by Bo Nix. Only 206 passing, but 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. I consider that really good.
Yeah, Bo looked good. Dobbins looked great.
Man, what's going on with RJ Harvey? Why is he not getting touches right now?
I mean, Dobbins was one that was a very gifted soul and was riddled with injuries.
Oh,
And I had a lot of
each and
stock in him
every
in all those
year.
years. When he would get hurt every other time I took him. So I didn't take him this year. So you're welcome, Dobbins, because you will be healthy this year.
Yeah, 76 yards, 1 touchdown.
Yeah, I went at 14 carries too. Very productive.
Yeah, 5.4 yards per carry. I mean, definitely big highlight for him. But Troy Franklin, 8 catches, 89 yards, 1 touchdown. Is he wide receiver 2 on this team now? I feel like he is behind Cortland Sutton.
Yeah, and I'm a huge Mims fan too. Uh,
Yeah,
I thought he was going to be a very sneaky late round. Going to get a lot of targets. Cortland Sutton's going to take a lot of attention, and he's going to just feast. Kind of like someone I have coming in later in the show that I'm going to talk about. But I saw you picked the same person, so uh,
it's all right.
before even seeing it, I was like, "Oh, this dog," because I actually had him before and never did anything. I always thought he was going to be. Or maybe I'd think of someone else, but anyways, but he's killing it. But yeah, Mims, I
Definitely.
mean, he only had 2 targets. I mean, 2 catches. It wasn't even like he only caught, like Marvin Harrison Jr. the first week where he was targeted a bunch, but only got to secure a small fraction of his targets.
Right.
But even Sutton this game, I mean, 4 targets, 1 catch.
Yeah,
Uh,
he struggled in it. I
you
thought he
know,
was going to do well because it seemed like a lot of secondary players for the Colts were injured, but nonetheless. What about Daniel Jones? I mean, is this a resurgence? Like, change of place, get the hell out of New York,
yeah,
and you shine.
like Mac
Sam Darnold a couple
Jones.
years ago.
That's why Carson Wentz will probably come out, and I mean, granted, they have the benefit of the doubt of playing Bengals without Burrow, but even though I think they're gonna have a rough time with Browning still, but yeah, it's just a resurgence of change of scenery. Like Granite Fields didn't have a good week, but with last week after his third change of scenery, it was like, wow, this guy's
Right.
got it. And then the Bills just, I think they were sick of everyone saying they were worried about their defense, but even though it was the great Lamar Jackson. But yeah,
Yeah,
Danny Dimes though,
he looks impressive. I'm
you know,
very
and
impressed. I mean,
and again, this may be beneficial to. They already said they weren't trading him.
no.
Um, TR, and it just shows that not that he's the best person to learn from, but you can still learn from him. And he had talent. He was also in New York. Ever
Yeah,
since Eli, everyone goes there to just get killed.
definitely. And then on top of it, like he doesn't normally throw for 300 yards, and I think back-to-back weeks he's throwing for 300.
Yeah, and he
I
only
mean,
on 23 catches. I mean, he threw the ball 34 times, but that's a high average per uh, attempt and catch, really.
right. And then on top of that, it's easier throwing when you have a guy like Jonathan Taylor running for 165 yards.
Yeah, he
I mean,
was
he's a
killing it.
dog. He's amazing. 2 catches, 50 yards, 1 touchdown. He could easily be the one running back 1 overall as long as his ankles stay healthy. That's the biggest concern. And
Yeah,
I know it's only week 2, but he's looked dominant. And they lost a couple all-pro players on the offense line to Minnesota and etc. But nonetheless, they're making it work. And then Tyler Warren, is he going to be the new Brock Bowers this year? The tight end one potential?
That guy has looked electric. I
He
passed
looks
on him in
good.
so many leagues, and that I didn't have a tight end, didn't grab one of the top 5, and kicking myself when could have had him for almost nothing, right? Late. Uh, yeah, he looks great. 7 targets, 4 catches, but 79 yards though. I mean, he's making those target or the catches he does catch go for every yard possible.
Right,
And
definitely.
he does look like a good route runner, just like Brock Bowers, which is scary.
Yes, definitely. I'm so mad I couldn't get him in Dynasty because he went ahead of me like 1 or 2 picks. All right, last game we'll talk about is Panthers versus Cardinals. Bryce Young, he looked terrible in the beginning of the game. I felt like having 2 turnovers, interception, and fumble loss. Comes back 328, 3 touchdowns. He was great for fantasy numbers, but NFL standards, he looks terrible. I felt like, having
Yeah.
2 possessions, 2 turnovers, it was not great.
Yeah,
And then,
he threw the ball 55 times.
yeah, 55 times he's throwing the ball. I mean, they look at the ground game. Hubbard, 38 yards, couldn't get the ground game going. And the only one that was consistent was McMillan.
He's looking good.
His 6 catches, 100 yards. I mean, again, he comes back with a redemption. He had a pretty good, solid first game, 50 yards. But I mean, 100 yards with him is great to see him. Hunter Renfro, what the heck? 2 touchdowns for him. And then Jatavian Sanders, 7 catches, 54 yards. It's great to see that as well. Because last year he showed so much promise before his injury, in my opinion. But I mean,
Yeah,
you look at
I'm
the
loving the Cardinals though.
Cardinals. Connor, I mean, 34 yards, 1 touchdown is what's saving him. It's great to see that 1 touchdown. I did predict that.
Yeah,
And
that's the only
then
one I hit.
what the heck? What's going on with Marvin Mims or Marvin Harrison Jr.? Is he elite? Is he not? He doesn't get the ball. 5 targets, 2 catches, 27 yards this week. Last
Yeah,
week,
it's the Trey McBride game. Not that he blew it up or anything, but
he had 5 catches, 71 and a touchdown, I guess. Yeah. But
but
yeah,
on the
Trey McBride always is getting his targets. He's getting fed. The offense runs through Trey McBride, and I'm glad because he looks good, and he is good. But
yeah,
yeah,
Marvin Harrison I think is great still. But the one cool thing about him is, he gets 5 targets when he catches the ball twice. You don't see him throwing temper tantrums. Get me the ball, feed me
not yet, not
publicly
yet.
or on the sideline. I think his old
Right.
man would slap him or punch him or something. I think if he did. You just got to know how great you are. Time will come. I mean, even last year, it's not like he blew it up every game. He was more of a roller coaster. But I mean, when he blew it up, he blew it up.
Right.
And they're winning right now, so it's like you can't really be upset. And they're finding other ways with their defense playing pretty good, or good enough. Not that they, are looking elite, but they're looking pretty good. I think
Yeah,
the
they are
Cardinals can
2
be a
0. I
scary
didn't even
team
know
that.
they're 2 0. Jeez.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Well, before we get in the over and under reacts, let's hear a word from the Podfather.
Pour one out for an incredible best ball season. It was a breakout 2025 for Fast Draft, but now the NFL action has started. That means it's DFS season. That's right. You might think, oh, wow, DFS, I can't win DFS. Oh, but you can on Fast Draft. You just pick any 6 guys and you put them in a handful of booster spots. There's no salary rubric you have to follow. You're not going up against thousands of killer bots in these tournaments. Oh, no. These are regular people grabbing their 6 favorite plays of the week, and that's all you have to do. And we post the ownership so that you can choose how much chalk you want. There is no drafting. It's called the Quick Six Super Slam. The Quick Six Super Slam is the signature DFS contest at Fast Draft. It is changing DFS. We are making DFS great again. So go to fastdraft.app and use your host promo code for a $50 deposit match. And let's go start drafting faster.
Yeah, go ahead and download Fast Draft. Use promo code Lewis, Lewis, for dollar match up to $50. Also, I just took third and eighth, so you could compete against me as well as others from around. Punzel, I'm going to give you 10 players. We're going to kind of keep it shorter. Based on their performance through the season, let me know, are you over or underreacting? Number one guy, Terry McLaurin.
You know, I've loved this guy for years.
Yes,
I'm
you
not
have.
gonna I'm gonna underreact just because of, him holding out, self-inflicted. I think every fantasy manager that owns him is feeling the brunt force of the holdout. You heard rumors of losing the connection as he was, holding in, not practicing. And then once he was back, got his extension, extra practices, things of that nature to try to get that chemistry back. With a quarterback going a year or two, it's not like it was Aaron Rodgers that you're holding out on, and then he's just going to be able to snap his fingers and you're all good.
Right. I'm underreacting as well. He's getting back in football shape. He's, again, doing that connection with Jayden Daniels. Hell, in week 2, he had 9 targets, hauling in only 5 of them, unfortunately, but the targets are there. He's got it going. He's going to get it going shortly. Next guy, Matthew Golden. We talked about him earlier. What is your reaction?
I'm going to underreact for now. Now that, especially with Reed going down, I mean, this is his time to shine. If he comes out as a dud again, maybe start trending the other way. I mean, he was just, not his fault. Jordan Love by a mere foot, if that. 12 inches or less, missed a 90 something yard tutty, right?
Yep.
And then that other one that got broken up in the end zone, he was
Yeah.
late throwing the ball, or he either lobs it up over his head with some finesse. He catches that, I think, no doubt. Or he threw it a little bit quicker. That D-back doesn't get back there. And again, touchdown either way he does it. And he kind of underthrew it. So he had the opportunities taken away from him by Love, not by much.
Yep. Yeah, I'm underreacting as well. I mean, his time to shine is this week or week 4 before the bye week. I seen him running routes. I looked at player all 32, and he was wide open a lot of times. Love just got the ball out a little bit quicker before Golden got out of his breaks, so maybe that has something to do with it. You said, again, just barely overthrew the 92-yard touchdown possibly, but with Reed out, it's now. Next guy let's talk about is JJ McCarthy. I mean, we did the show sheet before this injury reported, but nonetheless, let's just talk about him real quick. How you react?
I'm overreacting. I didn't think he was great when they took him. I didn't think it was the best fit. I'm not saying he's going to be bad. He had a lot of things taken away. I'll give him a little bit of a break here this last game just because he just became a dad, on Thursday. And then, his girlfriend, wife, whatever, let him out of the house that quick. I don't know how he gets that luxury to go back to work a couple days later. But I don't know how he pulled that off. And then, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. He's probably riding a high. He coming back, beating the Bears, boom, become a dad. But I still going to overreact. Obviously, we won't see him for sure a week, probably 2 to 4. And I feel like with their schedule, I mean, if he doesn't play this week, doesn't play week 4. I mean, they're already across the pond. I do believe they're in the pond week 4 and 5, back to back. I'm sure they're staying over there. I would highly doubt they fly back. So I feel like if he doesn't make that trip, unless they have him make it, but I just have a tough time seeing it. I think he's going to be out until they get back to the States.
Yeah, I think so.
And we'll see. Maybe the sitting on that ankle rehab, maybe he'll learn a couple extra things when he can kind of still practice and see someone that was great at one time. You get
Before
to
he
learn a
got
little bit
injured.
from him in game action, right?
Right.
Carson Wentz was on MVP run before he got hurt.
Yeah, I'm overreacting as well. Week 1, he looked like dog crap in the first 3 quarters, only having 56 yards passing. In the fourth quarter, I don't know what happened. He just channeled some inner thing. 87 yards and 3 scores. But last night, the Boring Fest, of field goal games, he had only 158 yards with 2 interceptions, a fumble loss. And you got one or the first or second best wide receiver on your team, and you're not getting him the ball that much. It's concerning, especially since Sam Darnold, he sucked it all those, forever, went there and was top 10 quarterback for the Vikings. Next guy, Derrick Henry. Are you overreacting or over or under? Yeah.
Under, nothing really to say. It's Derrick Henry. I mean, he had 270 yards week 1.
Yeah.
He was tired and he's old. They're giving him a break. They didn't need him. But now I don't know if that was legit the game plan. I know he did 2 weeks in a row, put the ball on the ground, but he at least got that one back. But that's something you never see from him. So that potentially is an alarming thing, but it could have been a fluke.
Yeah.
That's all I'm really going to touch on that one.
I mean, I can't say I'm underreacting as well. I mean, they did put up 41 points, but Lamar Jackson only rushed twice in that game. And normally he rushes 10 times. Derrick Henry only rushed 11 for 23 yards. It wasn't a lot. Unfortunately, he had the fumble, but it's Derrick Henry. He's not losing a step. I mean, he proved it in week 1. He still got it. Brian Thomas Jr.
Oh, I mean, this one I'm feeling a little overreaction, but not so much on him. More the long hair fella throwing him the ball.
Yeah.
So as far as a fantasy aspect, overreacting. Player wise, definitely underreacting. I think the connection will come back, but it's just until it happens, it's almost tough to. It's crazily, they're saying it's kind of tough to start, and just like AJ Brown right now.
Yeah. That one's rough. I don't know what to do with AJ Brown as well. I feel like I'm underreacting, but week 1 he had 7 targets, only caught 1. Week 2, 12 targets, only caught 4. But I went back and I actually just watched a lot of his tape, and he is not looking like he's giving it all. Like, he dropped multiple balls in the last 2 weeks, or he stopped his route because he didn't want to get hit or whatever. I know Lawrence shouldn't be throwing him hospital balls. It's not, Chris Olave type style, but it's scary for seeing him not give up. It's almost like he's giving up on the ball a lot. If you watch some of the, his routes running and dropping the ball at like the 5, a couple touchdowns, he caught the ball but stepped out instead. It's concerning that way, but I feel like he's going to get it going. So I guess I will underreact here again. Let's move on to Bryce Young.
I'm gonna overreact unless they get his pass attempts down. Just think he's showing it too much. And fantasy wise, I do not want him as my quarterback.
No?
No, I mean, now if you have to grab him because you had Burrow and that's just what you get off the waiver wires, but yeah, I think he'll turn it around and because I mean, saw it last year towards the end of the year where it was like, okay, he's looking all right. He might have it together. He might not be a dud, right?
Yep.
But it's just I haven't really seen the oh wow, like more than a couple times a game.
Yep. Yeah, I'm still debating. We say in week 1 he looked like crap. Week 2 at the beginning game, like I said, he looked like crap for NFL play standards. But for fantasy football, we like seeing him throwing 55 times just because it means more opportunity for fantasy points for us. In week 1, he threw 35 times. So far, he's got 90 attempts on the year. So that's 45 attempts every game currently. just brings back memories of Jameis Winston in 2019 when he threw 30 interceptions and he was quarterback 4 on the year. Like, it just gives us a little bit promise, but I guess I'm talking myself into underreacting, but only from a fantasy football viewpoint. NFL standards, it scares me because it looks like he might get benched again if he doesn't turn it around. I know the second half he did turn it around in that game, going for over 300 yards, but the turnovers, he's got to be better with the ball. If they don't win games, it's going to be scary. He's going to get replaced by Archie Manning. I don't know,
I
but
don't know if you want him right now. Oof.
not after Ohio State game, but that's a great defense. But let's go on to Jalen Hurts.
Overreacting. I told myself I wasn't touching him with a 10-foot pole this year, and I did not.
You're lucky.
They're winning their games, but they have a great defense. They got Saquon, workhorse,
Yep.
and which team-wise is great because you don't have to have him do too much. You can maybe keep him healthy, even though he still runs quite a bit. But even that, it's not making up for the lackluster fantasy points.
Yep.
I don't have him, and I don't think I played him, so I didn't really look to see what he fared this week. But I don't think it was very good.
Barely over 100 yards passing, 101. And he scares me. I'm overreacting as well. 152 passing in week 1, 62 on the ground, 2 scores. Unfortunately, the Cowboys couldn't maintain him into the pocket, but Chiefs did. I mean, he only had 15 on the ground and a score only because of the tush push. If he doesn't have the tush push, I mean, let's be honest, he's going to be pretty bad for us fantasy gamers.
Oh
And he
yeah,
only had 101 yards passing. It's concerning for him. It's concerning for AJ Brown, like you mentioned earlier, Devontae Smith. It's scary because we all know that Saquon Barkley's getting his 20 touches. It hurts though. He's hurting us, like realistically. So it concerns me a lot. What about DJ Moore?
I'm gonna actually underreact,
Okay.
and that's because I think the Insurgents, which I think Odunze is going to be the official number one in the very near future, and that's why I'm underreacting. Because like where Odunze is benefiting right now, or Dunze, however you say his name,
Doomsday.
with DJ Moore still getting that attention because he's still like the number one, still a beast. Now Caleb needs to figure out how to throw it a little more accurately and make some better decisions at times and not panic. But once a Dunze gets the double teams more and DJ Moore, you're going to find singled out as in that number 2 role and have a lot more opportunity, I think, in the near future. So I think he's a guy, if you can get him low, to stash on your bench because you have a deep bench that could end up potentially helping you down the road if an injury or bye weeks.
Yeah,
That's
definitely.
where my feeling on DJ Moore is.
I'm overreacting. I guess for me, I feel like Caleb Williams has looked better than expected. I guess compared to last season, I guess,
And when he learns the offense more, Caleb.
once he learns, yeah. But he's been targeting Adunze way more than DJ Moore, which concerned me because I thought Moore was supposed to be the hype and, the go-to guy all offseason. He was getting hyped by Ben Johnson saying DJ Moore is going to get the ball. He's going to be the Amon-Ra St. Brown of this offense. He's got 5 and 6 targets, 0 touchdowns. Adunze, 9 and 11 targets, 3 touchdowns. I think Adunze is here to stay. Colson Loveland, Cole Kmet, there's so many other guys so many mouths to feed. Zacchaeus, and dumps off to Swift. There's so many mouths to feed. So it scares me about DJ Moore. We got 2 more here, 2 rookies. Caleb Johnson. What do you feel?
He was in the league. I went very running back or not running back, wide receiver, and took Brock Bowers early, heavy. He was supposed to be my dark horse, and that is not looking good at all.
No.
I mean, it doesn't even show a glimpse at the end of the tunnel. So overreacting. Obviously, game one, I figured the game plan wouldn't be run first just for the revenge game. I'm sure they had that teed off as long as it didn't get him in trouble. You're going to show them that your 43-year-old self can still ball, and we're glad to have you here in Pittsburgh.
Right.
So first week I let it slide because there was lackluster of rushing in that game on Pittsburgh side of the ball. But yeah, he did not look good.
No. Yeah, I'm
And
overreacting
Warren's
as
doing
well.
decent. So it's like,
Yep.
it just I'm worried, overreacting big time.
I'm right there with you, overreacting. He's got 2 career rushing attempts, -1 yard on his career. He's not part of this offense. It's Warren, it's Gainwell. Warren had 11 and 14 rushing attempts. Plus, Caleb Johnson had a costly fumble on the kickoff that went through his hands, and he just let it go into the end zone and just watched it and walked off the sideline. Seattle recovered it in the end zone for a touchdown. Those types of things are going to keep you on the bench. It's
I was
just
watching a
stupid.
Pop Warner game.
Yeah, I mean,
Like, how do you do that?
he just doesn't know the rule of it has to land in all this, which it did. Goes through his hands. He watches it go to the end zone and doesn't even make an attempt to go after it. He just walks off the field.
Yeah, I don't know if he just thought that it had enough steam that it was rolling out, and it just stopped on that
Even if it rolled out,
9.5 yard line into the end zone.
even if it rolled out, I'm pretty sure that's still a safety because he touched it in the field of play.
Did he officially touch it? Because it looked like it actually missed him.
I'm
It was
guessing.
close, but
I'm assuming it did, but nonetheless, it's just that type of stuff. Like, come on, you're going to get benched, especially with Mike Tomlin. Our last guy we're going to talk about is TreVeyon Henderson. I've been hyping him up all offseason, but what is your thoughts?
because of how good Ramondre looked, I'm overreacting.
Yeah.
Like, I think they kind of were ready to just let. I don't know if it went. I mean, it could have actually. Like, I don't know if they were just willing. Like, you're the dog, you're getting the ball, you're gonna kill it, and then trade bait because Ramondre. I mean, he just proved that he still has it. If they were gonna try to get another piece, if they're still if they're in the playoff hunt, get rid of Ramondre to get something else. Even though you should probably showcase him a little more than you did the first week, but yeah, he just balled out so well. He's the veteran. Not saying that he's gonna be ineffective, but pending an injury, I think for the foreseeable future, I think they're gonna keep some tread on the tires and not play him when Ramondre's being as productive as he is. So overreacting big time.
Right. Yeah, I'm overreacting for the first half of the season. Then at week 8, I'm hoping I'm going to be underreacting because I really believe in Henderson and his ability. But week 1, he played 38% of snaps. Then the team comes out. We need to get him more involved. And how do you foul that up? You play him 32% of snaps? Come on. If you're going to hype him up and say he needs to get in there and you got to get him the ball and you play him less, that's concerning. And preseason looked amazing. His hype was real. I still think he could be a league winner, but it'll be coming week 10 on because I feel like the Patriots might be out. I don't know. I feel like Patriots should have won the week 1 against Raiders, but unfortunately they didn't. So now they're only 1-1.
Yeah, and I feel like them saying we need to get in the ball more, and he played last. I just think was just a product of. I think the game plan was to have him out more. I bet. I don't think they would have did that intentionally. Just with how good Ramondre did. Like, how do you take him out
But
when he's being that productive?
At the same time, you look at it, Antonio Gibson got more touches than Henderson. It's concerning then, I mean, Gibson also ran back a 90-yard kickoff return, but still, it's concerning for sure right now. But that is your over and under reaction players of the week. let's get into our waivers quick, and we'll get you out of here. Give me your top waiver ad for each position and why.
I bet you this is going to be the same. Jake Browning. He still threw 3 picks and had 24.7 points, right? We already mentioned that.
Yep.
I think he's going to succeed. I mean, he showed it 2 years ago. You have one of the best duos in the NFL, probably the best, right? Chase, arguably number
Agreed.
one, him and JJ Tomato, right? And then T. Higgins is a number one on every team but his own in Minnesota.
True.
Um, you know, and he just has all the pieces. I mean, granted, you could say the same about JJ, but it's not looking so great. JJ McCarthy, where he has all the pieces, but that offensive line wasn't blocking for him. I mean, that's something that scares me. If he's going to get beat up like Burrow did, how long does he add him in some type of injury way, right?
Right.
But I think, especially if you have Burrow, you got to be going for this guy.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I totally agree. Give me your running back and everyone else as well for your
So
waiver
this is
ads.
funny. I was kind of looking at some stuff. So this is a weird one. I saw, at least in sleeper leagues, he is available in 41% of leagues. And I think people gave up on him week 1, but the guy we just talked about, Ramondre Stevenson, um, like I feel like I can have him if he's available in 41% of leagues that people just gave up and just dropped him, or because he had to have been drafted still.
Yeah, I totally
We
agree.
thought, especially at the beginning of the year, it was going to be more 60-40, kind of eased in Henderson, maybe 50-50. But yeah, I mean, Ramondre just proved that he could still ball. I think he had 21 points. He was asset on both sides of the spectrum of the game on rushing and receiving. Proven that I can catch the ball as good as the rest of them. That's a running
Mhm.
back, which is wild. I don't remember him getting that many or being that productive in the receiving game. Um, so that's who I picked for running back. My wide receiver is going to be Wan'Dale Robinson. And I actually picked that before I ever saw yours. So it was funny when I scrolled down and saw it. I was like, oh, that's good. But yeah, I mean, I wrote down some stats here. He had 18 targets, 8 and 10, respectively. 14 of those were caught, 197 yards, 1 touchdown. Now, the guy that is absolutely killing it, his co partner here, has 25 targets in Malik Neighbors, right? The 14 catches as well. Now more productive on those catches of 238 yards and only 2 touchdowns.
Yep.
But Wandell is, kind of like what Dunze is doing right now. Dunze, he's benefiting for being number 2. I mean, granted, he's always going to be the number 2 in that offense, but where Dunze is going to take it over. But I mean, if he's on the waiver wire and he's getting averaging 9 targets a game and catching whatever that math is, to 80% of them, that's pretty good. And it's not like he's getting dump passes. I mean, he still averages over 10 yards over 10 yards a target, but catch wise, he's averaging like 13 yards a catch.
Yep. Yeah.
And then lastly, tight end, I'm gonna go with Zach Ertz.
Okay.
I was actually gonna pick who you picked. So I'll let you
Just
talk about him, and then, but Zach Ertz was the next one because he's available in 48%.
okay.
And
Yeah.
with a Packers team that seemed to shut literally everyone down, for him to have that big of a game, when how well the Packers played, I think is even more electric. And I think it was I forgot what they said. Like he had a couple bad years in there, and he still, I think, is approaching number 5 all time on the tight end list. I think, or
Yeah.
number 8
I-
or something weird, where it was like kind of caught me off guard because he was
he had
super
a lot of
productive in
injured.
Philly.
Yep. A lot of injured seasons as well.
And he's
Yeah.
showing he's still got it. He's not a running back. He doesn't need to be 28.
No,
Look at
not at all.
Kelsey. I mean, he's
Not
old
at all.
for a football player.
Right. Well, my waiver ads again, like you said, quarterback Jake Browning. If you need to replace Joe Burrow, just simply replace him with Jake Browning. He's only played 70% of snaps. Yes, is rushed in there. He finished as quarterback 14 on the week. But do you remember 2 years ago when Burrow had that wrist injury? Browning started the last 7 games. This is how he finished each week. His first start was quarterback 18. Then it was 4, 4, 8, 21. He had three interceptions that game, 8 and 9. Those are quarterback 1 numbers. And personally, I had him starting in a championship league with Easton Stick, and he won me the championship. I feel like he's just going to replace. He's got the best receiver in the game in Jamar Chase, but nonetheless, I think he will step up and be a quarterback 1 for Joe Burrow. My running back, Bhayshul Tuten. I'm not the highest on Bhayshul Tuten personally. Maybe it's because I'm biased and I still think my guy LeQuint Allen from Syracuse is better, but NFL thinks otherwise. He's available in 55% of leagues on Sleeper. And Jags traded away Tank Bigsby after week 1. We heard Tuten is going to play more. He only played 6% in week 1. Week 2, he played 25%. In his limited play, he had 8 carries, 42 yards, and caught 2 passes for 32 yards and a touchdown. I feel like he's going to gain more and more opportunities as the season goes along. We got to remember, Liam Cohen had Rashad White last year, and he, first week busted him out. Week 2, hey, Bucky Irving's creeping up. Maybe we see the same kind of transition for Bhayshul Tuten. And if that's the case, I'd be stashing Tuten right now on deep benches. Wan'Dale Robinson is my wide receiver. Week 1, thought it was like, okay, hey, it's week 1. He always gets that big game performance. And then week 2 happens, 10 targets. And currently he's wide receiver 5 of the week. And for the Giants, they're not going to run the ball. They can't run the ball. The offensive line sucks. And Wilson had a career day against the Cowboys for 400 and some odd yards, 460. I think Wan'Dale is here to stay. Every year, him and Neighbors last year were the most targeted players in the first 5 weeks. Can we see the same? Because, Cam Skadaboo is the new RB1 for Giants because Tyrone Tracy, I haven't seen much play last week or this week, I guess you'd say. I think Wan'Dale is here to stay, though. And then my tight end, had him last week as my waiver ad. He's still available in 50% of leagues. Last week he finished as tight end 4. This week he's currently tight end 3. Played 99% of snaps and 98. There's no competition behind Juwan Johnson. Add Juwan Johnson. He's the second read of this offense behind Chris Olave. And even then, he still might be the first read.
First.
He's just good. So I like Juwan Johnson. So get you some.
Yeah, Juwan Johnson, I saw at least on Sleeper, I think his pickup rate from last week went up 40-something%, and he's still available. Yeah, in half
50%.
the leagues.
That's crazy. And right away, what does he do? He scores a touchdown against a pretty good 49ers team, I feel like, still overall. But nonetheless, it was great, and I would definitely add him. He's probably the Jonnu Smith type player this year. Guy you didn't think about, add him now before it's too late.
Oh, absolutely. And then I would say a bonus, just for the Burrow, and then potentially Daniels, or for sure McCarthy. I wrote down people like Geno.
Yep.
I crossed CJ off the list after tonight's game. And then, but yeah, Geno Smith, even a Tua, he still put up fantasy numbers. Trevor Lawrence,
Geno's already got an interception, just a heads up.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he's 5 for 8, 36 in interception. But nonetheless, he'll be passing quite often.
But the other guys to look at, if you got one of those 3. I mean, I'm sure you probably didn't have JJ as your starter, so you're probably okay there. But if you got to replace Jayden Daniels for a week, someone you don't have to give up your left leg for, just to have some solid quarterback play here for a week. 3.
Yeah, I also like Danny Dimes as well. Daniel Jones, he's available in like 43% of leagues. I originally had him, and then I looked into Jake Browning's stats from a couple years ago, and I really liked him just for because he's not even owned. He's 100% open in pretty much any redraft league, I would say. If you have him, screenshot and send it to me, and I'll give you a round of applause because that's a random ad. But nonetheless, that is today's episode of Fantasy Endzone. If you enjoyed the show, be sure to follow, like, subscribe, click here. Check back each and every week. I'm on Tuesdays and Fridays. Big shout out to you, Punzel, for joining me today. We'll get you back on here sometime this year. But remember, you can follow myself on Twitter, X, whatever you so call it, at Louis Lewis 5. Do you have a Twitter? I don't know if you really use it too much.
I mean, I do. I think my last tweet was probably 3.5 years ago, maybe.
Yeah.
But
nonetheless, I'll see you fantasy gamers next week. Until then, peace out.